Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. So, an unbelievable headline here. A meme coin trader turns $800 into 10 million with Mudeng, right? So this is what we used to hear with Shiba Inu. This is what we're hearing right now. And I want to talk about why meme coins could be detrimental as well as beneficial to your portfolio. I think that is a very, very important discussion to have. And I know you feel sick and tired of seeing, next person turning $800 into $10 million. But I want to try and put some perspective into this. And you just need few meme coins to cook in your portfolio and forget about it. And that's what I did last year with Pepe. Bought it, forgot about it, and that's all I did, right? Now, in terms of searching for a Pepe or a Turbo, the challenge is very much way more different than it was in 2023, and I'll take you through why. So first of all, you've got Morad here, and you've got this why meme coin super cycle is happening, and of course you want to participate in that. And I'm in no doubt that meme coins have made money for the majority of us listening to this video, but there's a lot of people that lost a lot of money. So how should you play this meme coin game without ignoring it, of course? And I would say, in terms of, of course, he talks about VCs, angel investors, founders, centralized exchanges, and KOLs. And, we know exactly what KOLs can do, right? I would say, even, to be honest, the majority of KOLs with a large following on things like Discord have probably been the worst for meme coins. I just saw a video from some brilliant guy who was doing wallet investigation into Crypto John. And listen, rightly or wrongly, the meme coins themselves are a problem in many ways because people are not independently verifying, and rather they are listening to the influencer to pick up the meme coins. But the way I would do this is simple, okay? The way I would do this is very, very simple. I would look at a bunch of memes in order for you to save yourself, unless you're going to spend some time in DEX tools, all right? So I would look at a bunch of tokens and I would say to myself, out of these, what is for example, the lowest market cap that I think could be a blue chip? Now you can catch it at 5 million, you could catch it at 15 million. It's all relative to what you're looking for. For me, the way I would play this is to look for an exposure, right? Look for an exposure in the category. So for example, you got Turbo at $500 million. Could it go to $5 or $6 billion? Possibly. Absolutely, yes. So then you quantify $500 million. It's really not that bad for something that's already done 50x, 100x, from last year, 18, 20x. So that's one way to look at it. For example, Ponke is another one that's smaller than Turbo. Very good meme, has a decent market cap. I mean, it's not the smallest and it's not the largest. You could say, okay, I want to give myself an exposure to something like this, and I want to just continue to hold it to see where the cycle takes it. Another one here, Kendo Inu, $44 million. So all I'm saying is, you got Donald Trump here at $34 million. The election is on the 5th of November. You got Trump falling down 8%, but still only $188 million in market cap, $4. I mean, we was buying this at $2 something. And that's all you need. Again, Super Trump here. One of the memes I track, only $14 million, right? Some of these are very, very temperamental, like literally election season. For some of these, Trump's got to win for them to continue with their legacy a bit. But if he loses, they are all out. And you can see a lot of these hype is kind of falling off right now. You've got another good one here, which is Land Wolf on Ethereum. This one is $300 million. I mean, this is a meme from last year. But look, best thing to do is maybe look at the chain narratives, right? So, for example, if we look at Blub, let's see, Blub's probably not listed on here. You look at something like the Sui memes, right? Likes of FUD and Blub. You look at, for example, Foxy on the consensus linear network. You make a handful of these and you let them cook, because the only other way is another one that I hold, $45 million. Not bad at all. Could this go to $1 billion? Maybe, right? 450 million dollars could be achievable. Wojak is an OG that's relatively low market cap, and Wojak is as old as anything. So listen, the way to do these meme coins is not I would say they are all pump and dumps, 100%. They will explode and they will dump. You've got something like Brett, which is sitting at just under $1 billion, still under 10 cents. Yeah, you could hold that for 10x, 20x. But that's the theory. That's how I would do it. And the only other way to do it is to be honest, trying to stay and get wrecked. By coins all day, every day, just searching for meme coins. I don't think that's how we should approach it at all. So that's just the meme coins for me. And all I do is just find a list, make sure that a lot of the G's are out of the project, and then I buy it accordingly, and I just forget about it. There's no need to become a meme trader, in my opinion. Now, in a more pressing news, last night I talked about an update with regarding Alephium, and I wanted to talk about, so just a couple of charts here, guys. One, you've got DAI starting to cool off a little bit here, which is brilliant. If anybody's looking to get into DAI, this is probably a very good chance in doing so as it comes down. Some of these are cooling down. You've got Kaspa over here, and again, Kaspa is still relatively small in terms of growth. I mean, nothing is happening with Kas right now. If we look at the 4-hour chart, you've got a very good, it's starting to stabilize at the top of this downward box. So you can see here, Kaspa is kind of right now sitting above this. What we want to see here is Kaspa to break out of this trend and start moving up and possibly getting back into it. But again, it's still very, very small. AGI within that box. Again, this is climbing up to what, 18 cents, 18.5 cents it went to, now down to 17.5 for AGI. Mintlayer here, coming down slightly. And Mintlayer, I think we'll continue to see Mintlayer coming down here. But if you want to pick up some more Mintlayer, I think this is not a bad area to be trading. Manta network. Manta has obviously come down to my box of interest, and what I love to see when projects do this, right, they literally sprint out. There's a lot of reaction in this area, and in my opinion, I think this is a very, very good reaction from this bottom, but still under 80 cents. So if you wanted to pick up some Manta here, I don't think it's a bad idea to do that at all. What else are we looking at from a gaming perspective? We had Myria here. A lot of you hold Myria, and again, Myria had come down to my box of interest, had reacted very well, and now it's literally potentially just bouncing on this level here. So if you look at Myria, will it come back and retest this level? I think so. You could, if you wanted to pick up some Myria, pick up more around these levels, but take your pick. It's not really, it's still $2,200 per 1 million Myria. This is a super interesting one for me. So this is shrapnel. The more we get close to off the grid, the more shrapnel is gonna have a pump. So right now, 4.5 cents, I can see shrapnel doing an explosive gains upwards very, very fast, very, very quickly, guys. So if you are in shrapnel, just hold on to it. And if you want to get into it, I think these areas are very, very interesting right now. aitech is another one that we love and hold. Yesterday, of course, it had a nice, a fantastic pump, and then the brakes were on. This one is an interesting one because right now, what you have is a lot of people are saying, when is the data center coming? And the data center will come, to be honest, sooner or later. But I do have, genuinely speaking, I do have a lot of hope for this one in the short term, getting out of this levels and flying off. into about 13, 14, 15 cents very quickly. You know, this is again trying to update you with as much of these charts as possible. And what we need to do now with OTK is to try and see a bit of a retest here in this trend line, and then continue its way towards the upside. So OTK should be an interesting one to have a look. Some of you have been asking me about the Tensor Tau, and from this bottom, you know, to this top here, where could you see really Tau pulling back to? And right now, I think the maximum drawdown for Tensor Tau is about that $500 in the golden pocket here. 593, 594, that would be a realistic place to pick up Tau. GFAL is another funny one, because GFAL had, you know, obviously they were talking about Activision, Blizzard, and you know, all the gaming giants were supposed to be with these guys. But for me, the thing about GFAL is GFAL moves when you actually, it doesn't actually move forever, and then when it moves very slowly. It's a token that is, to be honest, very disappointing, if I'm totally honest with you guys, because all it's always either going to do this for a bit, so it gives everybody a hope. It gives you plenty of encouragement here, and you're like, oh yeah, this is brilliant, you know, it's moving finally. And then it just has a massive correction. That's not so obvious, you know, it's kind of like, okay, it's happening, but you don't really get to see it. So we've had that first pump. Now, obviously, it looks like it's kind of cooling off with everything else, but if you hold it, just hold it, because I think the promise here is that one day we'll start to pump and do really, really well. Now, what I'm concerned about is GameSwift, and whether GameSwift is going out of business or not is yet to be known. But these are record low. These are concerning candlesticks. Okay, this was my line in the sand, and guys, you have to have a line in the sand with everyone. I don't know if you remember, like in the last bull market, you know, many projects never made it. And with G-Swift, I mean, G-Swift is meant to be a big project, but this is very concerning. If you wanted to take a gamble for crypto gaming right now, you've got to have some balls of steel, because I think the main issue that I have with G-Swift is, you know, that's the line in the sand, right? This is kind of like what I want to see here is, I wanted to see initially that it came down, then it tested this range, okay, and then it came down, and then obviously from this point we get out of this. But it does, for me, it doesn't look like it wants to do that, and that is incredibly disappointing. So if you're holding G-Swift, I mean, this is not, I always tell you guys to buy value, but you are reaching the bottom of the barrel here from a value perspective. Now, they've announced token burns amongst other things, and I'm not sure if that's even going to help them. Let's continue with these updates. Corpo is another one. Now, if you look at Corpo, in the past, it's actually is obviously done lower than where it is right now. This one I have slightly more, you know, I'm slightly more bullish on this one, even though these candles are the same as what you're seeing. Now, off the grid is out, and many of us should start seeing a turnaround in gaming, but this is a very, very big level for Corpo. I genuinely believe this one, if you could pick this one up at below 10 cents, I think it's still a wonderful buy. But look at that bearish, you know, momentum here. This is all been, you know, this project has had a really bad, what I consider to be a bad run of things. From the time it came out to now, no one's actually made any significant money, including some of the early rounds. So yeah, this one is on a discount. Corpo World under 10 cents would be brilliant. Again, you know, this is a little gem that's kind of running out of time for both in terms of utility. Beyond the utility that it has is great, but what else can we see in the project? And you know, I really like this one. I want ZF to do really, really well. I do have a nice bag of ZF, but like I said the other day, I did invite the team perhaps to come and talk to us. It'd be nice to see, you know, them holding this level here. Okay, it'd be nice to see if we can get some kind of a base support on this level. So, you know, if we come down to this box, we start to go, okay, we come here, then we kind of go there, and we retest before, you know, we kind of retest, and then before we ultimately make it out. At some point, obviously, all projects do retrace, but you know, we want to go that way, not messing about with going this way all the time. So that's another one to watch, guys. What else can I show you in terms of, I mean, Octaspace? Let's have a look at Octaspace. Octa is in my demand box very nicely, which is good to see. And I think Octa again is one that I'm expecting to go, you know, to come in here and then obviously shoot out of that box. So Octaspace has always been one of my favorite projects, and I think it's by time it starts to hold this level before it ultimately moves back. Okay, guys, so that's just a snapshot. Creo is another interesting one in terms of a chart. Again, a lot of these cryptocurrencies you'll see are starting to lose a bit of their steam, but this is still holding this trend, and I'd like to see it break that trend before adding more to it. Again, a lot of these have been on the rip, so you know, could we see, I mean, this is a very good breakout by deal. This, you know, this horrible, you know, if you see this has been one of the worst. And you know, this is not even on the daily, this is on the 4 hourly. If you see it on the daily or the weekly, you'll understand how bad things have been, because it put it into perspective. You know, my little here, little arrow is part of a horrendous, you know, look how microscopic that looks. Okay, this is a part of a huge sell-off. That's literally what it is, and we're only starting to see a bit of life at the end of the tunnel. All right, but not a lot there. So many of these projects are, guys, look, the whole idea here is to show you what I mean by value. When you compare projects to where they were before, you'd start to notice that a lot of these projects are extremely undervalued. And again, Tectum, I love the fact that Tectum is actually performing very well after it came out of the long bearish downtrend. You could see Tectum now, we've got a clear range forming here. Okay, so this is the top of the range, and of course all we're doing right now is going here, bouncing back to the bottom of this channel, going to the top, coming back down, and eventually now what it wants to do is it wants to break out. All right, so look how quickly, once we clear this range, you know, $14, $16, these levels would be eaten up quite fast, in my opinion. Especially, you know, this first level here, you know, $15. And then of course Tectum just announced the building of a stable coin with a Middle Eastern country, most likely to be maybe Kuwait. But Tectum is a very bullish project, and the one that I was concerned about, so Alephium, you'd see these massive bearish candles, guys, and I discovered yesterday that a wallet was selling over $2 million worth or 2 million tokens, which is obviously very bad for the project. And as a result, even though that whale's been selling quite a lot, one thing that I really found encouraging was the price has found a very solid bottom here. So the lowest that the price went to was like 1.27. Okay, and the price support wise, okay, support, like heavy support, equals to $1.3. Okay, this is incredibly encouraging, because the last time the same whale shifted those tokens, okay, they were in total worth, you know, something in the region of you know, I think the total, they were like 800,000 at 50 cents. and he sold at that time 800,000 tokens. Okay, so what I did was, obviously, I went to track the wallet. Okay, and guys, if you want to see, you know, things like tracking wallets and stuff like that, we're starting to do a bit more of that. So yeah, join our group, because I think you'd not be disappointed at all, considering that a lot of people are consuming, you know, a lot of shit in the market. But here you go. So this is an Alephium wallet, and I'll talk about this in a separate video. Okay, obviously this person sold 14 transactions, you know, and yeah, they are out essentially, but they haven't nuked or tanked the project. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this very informative, and I'll bring you more updates as I get them. But stay safe out there, guys. You know, crypto is a dirty game, and you know, like I said, I've just seen that Crypto John, you know, that whole thing, and I do apologize, and I feel sorry for anybody who lost money. But you could always come to a group like us where we absolutely are just not interested in pumping and dumping anything here. We're just normal investors, guys. So anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Let me know what you think.